Yep, at long last I finally got round to playing this after everything I've heard about it way back when, and I've got to say that it didn't disappoint. The Last of Us is a third-person shooter set in a post-apocalyptic survivor scenario, and it's the sort of a horror game in some parts, and this was all made possible by Naughty Dogs. For those of you who have not played this, the intro to this game is heartbreaking and shows what the world is starting to become as everything goes to shit. This intro almost got me teared up at it.
Please don't. Oh no. Sarah?
I've never seen a game that throws a curveball at you this early, and I'm not going to say what it is because of those of you who have not played it yet, except for the ones who have. I think you know what I'm talking about here, yet it was a gobsmack in the face of sadness. Well, it's been over 20 years since civilization has fell from this parasitical fungus outbreak, what releases these spores, what's called cordyceps, or cordyceps for short, other words, zombie ants. Hopefully I've pronounced that right. And now this fungus has made a jump from insects to humans, which is a scary feature itself because this could happen where we hear that viruses can jump from animal to human, and Naughty Dog says why not fungus as well. This cordyceps breaks out and infects the human race, putting the world in a post-apocalyptic atmosphere where nature has taken back the streets and cities. Which also makes this fungus more easier to encounter, where this is more like its natural jungle environment, and I've got to give it to the creators here. They did their research on this.
There are literally thousands of different types of cordyceps fungi.
And then you meet Ellie, who's immune to this parasitical fungus, sort of. This is one thing what I didn't get, is that they say that Ellie is immune, but she still has the fungus in her system. Ain't that along the line of a carrier of the virus, where they have the virus, yet it don't affect them? Well, I'm going to say she is a carrier of the virus because of this barcode reader saying that it's in her blood at the beginning of the game. Well, that's really getting off topic. Is she a carrier or is she immune? Let's just say she's immune because the game says she is. Well, Joel takes the job to escort Ellie across the US in this new world outcome so they can create a vaccine from Ellie. Main characters are Joel and Ellie. I felt that I got to know them throughout the campaign. It didn't feel false as in other games when they say, oh, you're supposed to care about these characters, but you don't really. In this, I cared about these characters and you know what they're feeling at all times. The performance of them is outstanding. Joel is like the damaged one due to his past. Why, Ellie grew up in this world and constantly swears. At first, Ellie is like just a job to Joel, and then as you progress throughout the campaign, the chemistry starts between them, and it becomes like a father and daughter relationship. Yes, this is an escort game, except Ellie can hold her own, and I never found myself having to rescue her once. It did take years to get here with these type of escort games, but here it's done right and you never have to worry about her once. For the controls, they can take a bit of time to get used to. Lucky that the game does teach you the controls in good pacing. One of the key components to the game is sneaking. You will be doing this a lot throughout the game with the sneaking attacks. There is an auto cover system, and with auto cover systems I find that they can break the game if they're done wrong, and I admit I'm not a big fan of auto cover systems. Yet here I'm gladly to say that it's done right. When I wanted to go into cover, it did it. It never jumped me out of cover automatically, similar to other games. And for that, I've got on well with the auto cover system in The Last of Us. It's reliable. There is a good amount of weapon variety, and they do a good job introducing new weapons to the player as you go throughout your journey. They don't give you access to the weapons all at once, and it gets you to use all the weapons, including the melee weapons, to find the one that works best for you. And for me, that was the shotgun. Ammunition is scarce at first, although as time goes on, it does become more and more common. When I got to the end of the game, I had so much ammo. Still, I did not want to use it. Instead, I was collecting it most of the time and kept to the stealth kills, just in case that I might need the ammo later. The D-pad is used for your layout of your items, and it's easy to map new items to it, and it wastes no time. I'm fond of systems that are snappy and quick, that don't have to pause the game to change the layout. It kept me engaged with the game at all times. You have access to Joel's backpack, what acts like your main inventory system and supplies. If you want to change your weapons loadout in Joel's backpack and to equip it, it's done in real time. So you have to be careful when it's the right time to pick and choose and to craft. I thought that the crafting system was alright, and the nail bomb, kicks ass. There are like RPG mechanics in The Last of Us where you can upgrade your weapons by using this workbench that you come across. Along with that, you got scrap metal, what acts like currency for your weapon upgrades. You find these scrap metals all over the place, so I found myself looking in every nook and cranny to find as much as I can to upgrade my weapons. The game is addictive like that. You can upgrade your abilities as well with these pills, what you find throughout the campaign, health, healing, speed, and so on. The enemy AI is programmed really well, especially on these fungus type zombies where you can throw something to lure them away from you, and I thought that was nicely done, especially when they're like, they acted really quick with it, and it kind of like, and I use this, and I use that. Oh, I'll throw this instead. Wow, that was really cringeworthy. In this world, the parasitical fungus are not the only hazards. There are other humans what will kill other humans for sport. Make even more things more fucked up in this world. Yeah, you do get one or two hiccups now and again. Mainly I found this out on the normal enemies when they just jump out of cover for no reason or do something really stupid. But this happens rarely, yet it is there. There are like puzzle elements of get and find this plank and help Ellie across the water so she can help you across. The first time I came across this I was like, alright, and then it happened again and again. If you're similar to me with a very short attention span, these become tiresome very fast. You can tell that these are here just to stretch out the campaign. They're not hard puzzles, in fact they're quite easy. It's more like, where's that fucking plank this time around? And this can take a bit of time to find, and if you have not found it in a certain amount of time, the game does give you a hint of where it is. Thank fuck for that. And there are moments of what the fuck am I supposed to go or do here, but moments like these are shortly lived. There are quick time events, thank fuck that they're just add-ons here, and they don't overstay their welcome. And in this game I found myself that I didn't mind them, where they were in tune with the cutscenes and they added a bit of gameplay to the cutscenes. One thing I've got to say to newcomers, be prepared to die a lot with the brutal death scenes. I haven't felt so bad since DK1 Game Over screen. At a point in the game, it changes character to Ellie at a certain part of the campaign. It changes things up a bit and it got intense when all these infected start coming out of nowhere. And it shows how much of a badass Ellie is. And at this peak, I started to prefer playing as her than Joel. The level design is pretty much follow the path that's laid out in front of you, although there are so many breathtaking moments on both sides of the spectrum. You see crumbling buildings what are about to collapse to all this forest green that takes a moment to adjust to its beauty, what's still left in this harsh world. There are a lot of interesting characters that you meet throughout your journey, and I love that everyone you meet seems to have a personality and a character arc to them, and how some of their stories ended is unexpected and left me speechless at times.
It's all your fault! Henry! Henry, no!
Cutscenes are nicely done. I enjoyed that in this world they still have a sense of humour in the cutscenes, and the motion capture on their faces are spot on, to the point that I was convinced that these were real characters on how good the motion capture is. All the voice acting, it is well done. They did not hold back one bit. It's all AAA star, it never dips. There was not one character that I could say had bad voice acting. I found this a masterpiece of voice acting.
Well, better than nothing. Oh, I'm sure your friend will be missing this tonight.
Mm-hmm.
It's light on the reading, but it's got some interesting photos.
Now, Ellie, that ain't for kids.
Whoa! How the hell would you even walk around with that thing?
Get rid of that.
Hold your horses. I want to see what all the fuss is about. Oh, why are these all stuck together? I'm just fucking with you. Bye-bye, dude.
This is one of the most graphical games on the PS3 that I've encountered, where I was playing it on that system and it made me appreciate it more, where it pushed that system to its limit. Except there is a bit of a frame rate slowdown on the PS3 title at times. If you have a chance, I would recommend playing it on the PS4 version, where the frame rate is a lot smoother. Everything in the game sounds brilliant. However, there is one sound that sends chills down my spine. It's the sound of the clickers. You could play that sound from 10 years from now and I would still recognise it. That's how much of an impact that sound made to me. The music in this, I really don't remember any of it apart from this guitar sound from time to time. Yet I think that it matched this well what I was playing in. For how long the game is, I clocked on around about 12 hours, and for me that's a bit of a disappointment, where I play quite a bit of single player games and used to them being around about the 20-hour mark. On the other hand, there is a multiplayer mode what I've heard what is really good. So in the end, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 and I definitely recommend it. The only thing that stopped me putting that 10 out of 10 mark on it are these silly little plank puzzles. They just bored the shit out of me. So, have you played it? What did you think of it? Leave it in the comments below. Until next game, you guessed it, I'm fucking off. There are a lot of interesting characters that you meet throughout your journey, and I love that everyone you meet seems to have a personality and a character arc to them, and how some of their story ended is unexpected and left me speechless at times. Right, I think we're in a safe enough distance. Hand me the gun. Why are you collecting all this junk?